and we'll just breeze right through everything.
Okay. Do I need a... Oh, that's the mic there. Okay.
That's the mic. Camera's rolling, audio's rolling. And you're just going to look and talk with me.
Okay, look at you.
It's going to be hard, I know, but... All right, so I hear that you were actually taught by the Sisters of St. Joseph.
I was a student at Sacred Heart Catholic School in Lake Worth, Florida. And during my years at Sacred Heart, the Sisters of St. Joseph staffed that school. And so I had many Sisters of St. Joseph as teachers over the years.
Do you have a particular story?
I have many stories, but I have many stories. But one sister, and during my time at Sacred Heart, didn't teach me in the classroom, but she taught me a lot outside the classroom. This was Sister Aquinas, who was living at the convent there at Sacred Heart, but she wasn't working in the school. She was working west of town in the migrant camps of western Palm Beach County. And so she was working at the mission in Delray, and often she would pick up a few of us stronger guys, altar servers, and we would go out with her on Saturdays and work around the mission, sometimes planting trees, sometimes painting, and all that. So it was a great experience. It exposed me to another aspect of life that became a big part of my life, because most of my ministry as a priest has been with immigrant groups, and so I first met those immigrant groups in western Palm Beach County in the company of Sister Aquinas, Sister St. Joseph.
Wow. Was there a particular moment early when you knew you were being called?
Well, I think I remember wanting to be a priest ever since I was in the third grade. And that was something that always stayed with me. There were times later on that, especially when one understood the implications of priesthood, that you might have wanted to give it a second thought. And I certainly did that, but I could never really see myself doing or being anything else than a priest. And so I went to the seminary at a very young age, and I was ordained at a young age. I was ordained a priest at 25 years old.
That's great.
Is that a problem?
I think so.
Yeah. Can I just ask him to keep it down just a little? Well, just
We're actually okay.
you all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a
Okay. You're okay. The
voice
mic's
that
close to
cuts
him.
through.
Okay, that's
He's got a
good.
good set of pipes, so cuts through everything else. Can you give me a little bit of the history of the Sisters of St. Joseph? Is there any of that you can sort of paint a picture?
Well, the Sisters of St. Joseph have been part of the Church of Florida since their arrival 150 years ago. And at one time, they were the largest presence of religious sisters in the state of Florida. If you go through our chancery here, you'll see pictures from the history books where the Sisters of St. Joseph were arrested in Jacksonville for teaching black children. And that was really, I think, what brought the Sisters of St. Joseph to Florida, was to educate the freed slaves, the children of the freed slaves. And of course, over the years, they staffed schools, elementary schools, high schools throughout the state, and also they staffed hospitals in many parts of the state, including Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, I think even in Auburndale at one time. So they were involved in the growth of the church here in Florida, and a very significant part of that growth.
Do you need a sip of water or anything?
No.
He did his homework.
Well, what would you expect?
Yeah, I was on the Steve Colbert show, you know.
That's right. That's right. Is he getting union scale now?
I don't know. I had to sign some things. Maybe there might be a check coming. You know.
Fix your cross, please.
What do you see what is the legacy of the Sisters of St. Joseph?
Well, I think the legacy is in the people that have been touched by their lives, by their dedication. And you can go throughout the state of Florida and you'll find people that will say, the Sisters of St. Joseph educated me when I was in high school or when I was in grade school. Others will say, the Sisters of St. Joseph were at the hospital that I was born in, or that my mother died at. And so, that's the legacy. It's not a legacy in brick and mortar. It's a legacy in human lives.
Excellent.
That was a great statement.
I've done this before.
I can tell, yeah, but that was for
That's the nugget we were looking for.
Archbishop, I have learned personally that this is a story of I guess I can put it in terms of its resurrection. It's reinventing. The sisters are constantly reinventing themselves through time, in caring for the dear neighbor and seeking out and fulfilling those needs. What are your thoughts on that concept, and what do you think? How do you see the future for the sisters?
Well, the future is in God's hands, and we have to trust in the Holy Spirit, and that that God will provide the sisters that the church needs. But consecrated life is always going to be part of the story of the church. In fact, I like to say that the church consecrated, namely these religious sisters, are really the church concentrated, because in the life of these sisters, living the vows of poverty, chastity, obedience, they mirror for us the vocation of every Christian, which is the following of Jesus Christ. And so the sisters, their witness is one is a witness that will endure for the ages.
Jeanette?
Archbishop, when we talk about, the year of consecrated life, we've talked about, praying for an increase of vocations, all of those things. The Holy Father certainly has expressed his love, for the sisters. Can you speak like locally here in the Miami area about the sisters, and we've got the school, and now they've got another school. Can you speak a little bit about
Sure.
that growth?
Well, there's growth, and there's diminishment of growth too, because the sisters had a much larger presence here in the Archdiocese, and because of the lack of sisters that has decreased considerably. But the sisters still are a very active presence here in 2 schools, at St. James and Holy Family, and also here in the Archdiocese I have Sister Elizabeth, who is my Chief Operating Officer, and therefore is imbuing the whole Archdiocese with the spirit of the Sisters of St. Joseph, and certainly making a very positive mark here in this local church.
That's what I was to hear.
There's a story I saw one time. It was a vocation video, and it was in the vocation video, a sister was walking down the street, and a mother and child stepped off the bus, and as they walked by the sister, the little child grabbed her mother's hand and said, "Look, Mommy, there goes the church." So I remember telling that to a group of sisters, and I said, "Sisters, she was talking about her habit and not her size."
Okay.
I dare you to use that.
You're killing me. I don't know if we can get away with those as the credits roll.
He's a little wicked, let me tell you.
Goodness gracious.
One more thing.
But you can use that for the blooper
Oh
line.
my goodness. nobody will believe this unless I play it for them.
And I said that at a mass and got away with it.
Yes.
Yep.
Because he's all up there, best everybody's like, did he really say that? By that time he's gone.
Certainly tell if everyone's awake.
Oh, I'm sure they were awake then.
For sure. Let me throw this at you. You're a great storyteller, and this documentary is going to be told through little small stories that interweave and hopefully, bring everyone new eyes and new ears on this whole story. Can you give an example, or can you talk about the power of storytelling, even in religion?
Well, Jesus spoke in parables. And so the parable, the story, is the easiest way to communicate a truth that is sometimes lost in abstractions. And again, I think that's why religion, our Catholic faith, is not about an idea, it's not a philosophy, it's not an ideology, it's an encounter. It's an encounter with the living Christ. And so therefore, people that encounter Christ, they are the story. And so we have in the stories of these ladies that have followed Christ, brides of Christ, we have each one of them is a story, and it's a story of that tells the one story of the gospel, the good news. I've been going to Mercy Hospital for my primary medical care for most of my priesthood, except for a brief time that I was in the Orlando area. Thank God I've been healthy and haven't had to go there too often. But again, the hospital was run for years under the sponsorship of the Sisters of St. Joseph, and Sister Elizabeth was, really the face of Mercy Hospital for very many of those years. And so when I was looking for someone to be the chief operating officer of my diocese, at that time Orlando, I sent her the job description and said in an early morning phone call, "Are you interested?" And she was, and that was the beginning of a new chapter in Sister's life, and also in the contributions that she has and the community has made to the church in Florida, because Sister has not only helped in the administration of two dioceses here in the state, but she has been also a consultant for other dioceses in the state and beyond. And so the Sisters of St. Joseph still have a considerable heft in this state of Florida, and we are grateful for their contribution.